What if I told you that not only is Bubble the main antagonist of the Amazing Digital Circus, but I can prove it? I know I sound insane, and I am, but not for this. Just please listen to me. So I've had this as a stupid haha joke theory for a while now, but after the release of the Episode 8 trailer, and especially Episode 8 itself, I fully believe this and am going ride or die into Episode 9 with Bubble as the main villain. For anyone not aware, Bubble up until this point has just been like sort of maybe a main cast member depending on who you ask, but he's like definitely the least important reoccurring character. He's typically the joke character of the group. He pulls up, says a few funny lines, and then leaves. But in Episode 8, he doesn't do that. He does have some funny lines, but before that, he starts rage baiting Kane, is the best way I can put it. Like, he floats up and, like, starts guilt-tripping him, saying he's the worst of the two, which I'll get into that. And just after that, he's perfectly fine, like he was restrained or something. This is, like, normally he speaks coherent English. Like, there's a few times, like, it'll be bleeped out or, like, backwards or whatever. But throughout Episode 8, he just starts making random noises to end sentences sometimes.
Wow, Kane, you are so funny.
Could you say it with a little more gusto?
And it's really strange. Like, when I was watching the episode, I'm like, this isn't what a Bubble joke is typically like. Something's going on here. Okay, so to get the point across of what I'm talking about here, typically Bubble's like, wow, I hate you, Kane. But this episode, he did that, then pulled up, went, you ruined this. And then went back to normal, like, shortly after. Only, like I said, he just started making random sounds to end sentences.
I'm having a baby.
Something's definitely going on with him. He didn't start acting like this until after his initial out-of-character moment in Kane's office, and more notably, after the multiple-day time skip that happens after the musical number. So I believe that after this incident in Kane's office, he put some kind of restrictions on Bubble that makes him even more of a little goofball than he was before. Now, I don't even think this is the first time Kane has done this. For instance, in Episode 5, Bubble swears.
You should die. You should throw a beach party.
But then in Episode 7, he says the exact same line, but he, like, restrains and substitutes a swear word.
You should throw a freaking beach party.
So I feel like after Episode 5, he had more limitations put on him before this, and who knows how many times Kane's done this before then. There's a little bit more evidence towards this, actually, because in Episode 5, the other place a block would have been put in, Bubble in the softball, like, announcer cage or whatever it's called, when asked what he thinks of the game or whatever, it just sticks out his tongue and makes a weird noise.
Right, Bubble?
Which is similar to one of the more restrained acts he does in Episode 8, which is stick out his tongue and make a weird noise when Kane asks him to repeat something.
Could you say it with a little more gusto?
So maybe making a weird noise with his tongue is like an indicator that the block was just put in. Now, back to what I said earlier about how I'll get back to Bubble calling Kane the lesser of the two. At the beginning of Episode 8, we see what seems like Kane. It's like a red dot learning. And it's like caged off and left as a second blue dot starts learning. But the blue dot isn't given as much information before the red dot breaks out and absorbs it. And since the red dot is meant to be Kane, I think the blue dot was meant to be Bubble. And Kane absorbing Bubble was like he absorbed him and then started slowly making him weaker and weaker with, like, more restraints. And now with Kane gone, that means all those restraints on Bubble should also be gone, and he'll be at his full potential. We know all of the, like, restraints and stuff Kane put in place are gone, not even necessarily talking about Bubble, because Zooble was able to swear at the end of episode 8.
Holy shit.
So it's not too far-fetched to assume that if he did start restraining Bubble over time, all those restraints put in place on Bubble would be gone. This would also be why Bubble is not in, like, the credits for episode 8, like he has been in all the previous ones with Kane. A lot of people are saying it's because he just got deleted with Kane. I think it's because he no longer looks like that, and they don't want to show him to us early. Now, to add on to the theory of Bubble being the blue dot with more evidence than just the fact that Bubble is a blue dot, there's also a scene in the episode 5 intermission that shows Bubble and then Kane's teeth close in around him. Like Kane absorbing Bubble, like the red dot absorbed the blue dot. Now, there's more things to suggest Kane and Bubble don't really like each other. Like in episode 1, Kane calls Bubble a parasite.
You parasite!
In episode 3, Kane quickly diverts a conversation away from Bubble's feelings.
Bubbles' feelings?
Enough about Bubbles' feelings!
After making that up seemingly as a lie, which I do believe he did say that as a lie, but then diverted it. He sounded all panicked, like he quickly realized that's not something he wants to talk about. And then in episode 5, Bubble just straight out tells Kane to die.
You should die.
Now, one last thing suggesting Bubble is the blue dot is that the blue dot is the only other, like, creative AI, kind of like Kane we see, but notably on a lesser degree, because it never got the proper learning it needed, despite being, like, larger and better right off the bat. And the only AI other than, like, Kane that we see actually craft something, or supposedly, is Bubble. Because Bubble, at the end of episode 7, is said to have made the destination that the release button would have sent them to, or Shrimp Town.
Oh, I didn't put too much thought into that one, cause I knew you'd never pick it. So I left that up to Bubble.
I made it take you to Shrimp Town.
Shrimp Town plays into how this is evil of Bubble, and I will explain. Now, at the beginning of episode 8, the main cast is arguing about the end of episode 7, and in that argument, Jax mentions, what if Abel was secretly evil, and what if they all got stranded in the void? Now, Abel was just secretly evil. He wasn't, like, inherently evil. Kane didn't create him with malicious intentions, but he ended up being pretty evil towards the cast. Like, what he was evil towards them. So it's safe to assume that the other button probably would have done something horrible, like send them to the void, or Shrimp Town. Shrimp Town is very important that it's shrimp specifically, because the one other time we see shrimp in this show, earlier that same episode, is the shrimp NPC on the beach.
Hello there! How's the shrimp NPC?
So I feel like Shrimp Town would have just been torture. Maybe the individual torture rooms Kane used in episode 8 were even originally just Shrimp Town. In conclusion, I think Bubble is still alive after episode 8, was the blue dot, and in episode 9 will be fully unleashed with his full power and be much worse than Kane ever was to the cast. So getting rid of Kane, they'll either try to, like, get him back or try to use it to escape finally, and Bubble will stop them either way. But, like, no longer a tiny bubble. They're gonna be something big and scary. So, when I come back, like, June 19th, I think the final episode is, I'll do, like, I don't know why I said I'll come back. I'm not going anywhere. I might do, like, a reaction video to it to see how right I was, despite not having reacted to any previous episode. I'm gonna send you to Shrimp Town now.